Hey guys, starting out the vlog where I want to be. It is day 16, I think. I am super sleepy. Thank you to the Crown for me being up late last night, and to my dogs this morning for having me up early. But I had my first reading sprint of the day, my 6 o'clock reading hour. I didn't get to read the Iliad Crest today because I went to my grandma's house, and then I didn't read at 3 because I just rode around town and got some pizza, which was nice. Little Caesars, and I know Little Caesars like is not the best, but when you're hungry, it's so good. But then I've just been chilling ever since, and then I read at 6, and it is now in the 7 o'clock hour. I read 52 pages in Still Life today, and yes, it's definitely too long. I'm just getting bored with it at this point, and I was skimming some sections, but like the section I'm on now, I'm not really skimming because it's a backstory of our character, Evelyn, and I am curious about her backstory, so I'm not really skimming that much anymore, but I did skim some of the other parts about characters that necessarily are not my favorite. I do love all these characters, but you know, you always prefer some than others. And I don't know if y'all just heard, but there's a fly in my room, and it is so annoying. And it's huge. It's been in my house a couple days now. I came in when I was getting packages in the other day, and yeah, it's really, really annoying. But back to The Crown, I did really enjoy it, and I do think that is altogether the best show that Netflix has ever done, which is really hard to say because this is so different than like Stranger Things, and but it's everything I love, like following one family for multiple generations, hence this book, um, and it being British because we know I love like look see. So, I mean, it just has so many tropes and themes that I enjoy, and I'm hearing there might be a prequel about, like, George V. As it's not Nicholas II, which I'm sure he would make an appearance. But I do love that era, and I don't think there's enough media on it, so hopefully we do get that. And then, honestly, I think in, like, 10 years, I could see The Crown getting a reboot for, like, the Meghan Markle drama and all of that. I know she's fuming about it ending before she got into the picture. Because I'm not saying it's bad to love attention, but she definitely loves attention, not caring if it's good or bad. Which, I mean, if you are somebody who likes attention, that is the way to go about it, in my opinion. But I am going to go eat dinner now. I don't even know what I'm going to have. But that's what I'm going to do. And then we're going to be starting a new book, a new audiobook later. It is time to start the next book of the vlog, and that is, or a vlogmas, The Secret Book of Flora. I thought it was Lee this whole time, but it might be Leah because it's like L-E-A, and I'm not familiar with that spelling. But this is by Patty Callahan Henry, who I think is a local author, actually. Yeah, she lives in Bluffton, South Carolina, which I've never been there. My ice cream bowl's right there. Yeah. But I will be doing the audiobook for this, and it's one that was actually one of my anticipated releases of the year, so super excited to begin to that. And look at these end pages that are super pretty. I love when books do that. And you never really see it in historical books. So let's read the description here. So in war-torn London of 1939, 14-year-old Hazel and 5-year-old Flora are evacuated from their home to a rural village to escape the horrors of the Second World War. Living with the kind Britty Aberdeen and her teenage son Harry in a charming stone cottage along the River Thames, Hazel fills their days with walks and games to distract her young sister, including one that she creates for her sister and her sister alone. A fairy tale about a magical land called Whisperwood, a secret place they can escape to that is all their own. I think that's really sweet when they're going through this really difficult time, be in war, and they go through that. Okay. But the unthinkable happens when young Flora suddenly vanishes while playing near the banks of the river. Shattered, Hazel blames herself for her sister's disappearance, and she carries the guilt into adulthood as a private burden she feels she deserves. Ooh, so we're gonna have some thriller elements, maybe? So 20 years later, Hazel is in London, so that would be in the 50s, ready to move on from her job at a cozy rare bookstore to a career at Sotheby's. Could be saying that wrong. With a charming boyfriend and her elegantly time-worn Bloomsbury flat, Hazel's future seems determined, but her tidy life is turned upside down when she unwraps a package containing an illustrated book. I wonder if that's some of the illustrations. Called Whisperwood and the River of Stars. Hazel never told a soul about the imaginary world she created just for Flora. Could this book hold the secrets to Flora's disappearance? Could it be a sign that her beloved sister is still alive after all these years? Let's see. Okay, it's just green. As Hazel embarks on a feverish quest, revisiting long-dormant relationships and bravely opening wounds from her past, her career and future hang in the balance. An astounding twist ultimately reveals the truth in this transparent and refreshingly original novel about the bond between sisters, the complications of conflicted love, and the enduring magic of storytelling. So this sounds really good, and as I said, it was one of my anticipated releases of the year, so I'm going to be getting into this one now. This is definitely a good story so far. I'm getting the dust jacket, so let's talk about it. So the characters, I am really going to love exploring the dynamic of the sisters. I think it's just going to be really sweet, and looking back at the innocence of childhood, that's one of my favorite things to read. I'm not going to cry. But I've talked about before, I love reading adult books that have point of view, like the point of view of a child, because it's just so special. We've all been there, and usually it's an adult looking back at their life, and yeah, it's a nostalgic thing. Atmosphere, I am loving as well. We do have some parts that are taking place during the war, and then our next one is in 1960, so post-war, but before. I feel like when JFK got shot in U.S. history is when there was a change, and then in the British, it's when the Beatles came out. That there was just a whole cultural reset. That's the word. Writing, I have no opinion on the writing so far. It's fine. And then plot, I'm really intrigued because she's working at a bookstore where they get those like old first edition books, that kind of thing. And she gets this book that is literally the stories that she would used to tell her sister, and has the same title of what they named their like magical world that they created. And I am so curious of how all that came to be, how it got into her possession being at the shop, and I'm so intrigued by how all that is going to play out. So yes, I am liking this book so far. I read 28 pages, getting me to 8%, but I am going to be ending the vlog here. If you made it all the way through, leave a book emoji in the comments below. And as always, comment, rate, and subscribe. And don't forget to ring that notification bell to be notified when all my videos go live. I'll see you in the next one. Bye!